This is earlier than we usually record.
Yeah, I figured. I was like, well, kind of why not, I guess.
It's nice. It's got one kid down for a nap. The other kid I just sent out into the wilderness for about an hour.
It's about to put me down for a nap.
Yeah.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
This is the Dudes Review. The Dudes Review. The podcast where anything and everything can be reviewed. With your host, Tyler and Drake.
Hey, all right. Nope, that's not a good way to start.
Oh, shit. We're back. Look out.
You know what? That is a good way to start. Welcome to the Dudes Review.
Sorry if you hear my cat.
I did hear your cat.
Hi, welcome to the Dudes Review. My cat's
How's he doing?
No, this is Pretzel. She's fine.
Oh.
Ozzy's fine. He's asleep. Pretzel's being a little bitch. She wants outside. A little bit insight to my life. We have a cat that loves to go outside. Loves to sit on the concrete. Really weird.
Outside cats are, like, not outside cats, but, like, cats that love to go outside is always crazy to me.
I know, because I'm just like, you're not even a feral cat. You were born inside, you were raised inside. Why so desperately do you want out?
Yeah, you don't have to go outside.
And she's an old little bitch, too.
It's so funny, like, you can say whatever you want to animals as long as you say it in that cute voice.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I regularly talk to my dog and I'm like, hey, you little cunt.
Hi, you little fucking bitch. How are you?
You can do that to babies, too.
Oh, you can. They don't know.
People don't like it if it's not your baby. Like, if you just walk up to someone else's baby and you're like, hey, little bitch.
Oh, what a cute little motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, usually people, like, slowly move their kids away from you when that happens.
I'm gonna pinch that piece of shit's cheeks. Oh, my God. Damn, it's so cute, though. I do it all the time. Ozzy, I'm just like, hey, you little shithead, how are you?
Yeah.
And call him little fat boy. It's funny.
Hey, before we get started, remember, t-shirts are on tpublic.com/user/4thday creations. I did hear from the person who bought the Pimp 69 jersey.
Pimp 69.
Dalton McStoots.
Thank you, Dalton.
Good
True
friend
pimp.
of ours.
True pimp out there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm going to make that a next shirt that says True Pimp.
His explanation to me was that it's a very versatile shirt. It doesn't say the Dude's Review anywhere on it. He can wear it to weddings, to meetings, to work, to funerals if, the situation calls for it. And, like, it's a nice shade of blue. It says Pimp 69 on the back. So, like, if you don't want to be super inappropriate, just don't let anyone see your back.
Yeah, you just have to walk frontwards all the time.
And, hey, this sale's probably over by the time this comes out because I don't know how long it's going. But I am on the website right now, and all of our T-shirts are $16 a piece.
Hey, what are they normally?
23.
Okay, so many dollars off. I'm not going to do the math, but hey.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that math. You do the math. I don't get paid to do the math.
Don't tell me to do the math. I'm getting paid to do the math. I'm getting paid to do this.
Right, yeah.
I'm not getting paid to do any of it.
Dickens and Tugnuts and the Dudes Review logo shirt are our hottest sellers, but pick you up a Tyler Hawkins Pro Wrestler 2 on the back of Pro Skater 3 and 4 Remaster being released.
It would. I'm working on a Tony Hawk deal with Tony Hawk.
Yeah,
release the shirts. Coincide with the shirts.
Tyler Hawkins, Wolverine, Officer Dick, Darth Maul.
Yeah, the classics.
Spider-Man.
Everybody you love playing as a kid.
Yeah. Also, we still got a while for this coming up. May 24th, Owensboro Sports Center, WWA presents Over the Top. It's the biggest World Wrestling Alliance show ever. Kentucky's biggest battle royal will be happening where, however many people show up to the building will be in that match for the WWA Championship.
So is that everybody, including the crowd?
Yes. No.
I'm
not going to say that. I'm not even going to joke about that because someone will jump the rail.
That is true. So if you're in the crowd, if you bought a ticket, unfortunately, you are not part of the Battle Royal. But you are part of it in a sense of you get to watch to see who wins.
Yeah, sorry about that. But come check it out. We've got Elijah coming in. He used to be Elias in the WWE. We got Chris Masters. We got JTG, The Godfather, Crazy Steve, ECW Hardcore Legend Sabu. I just finished all of their entrance videos this week.
Hell yeah.
So we're looking forward to that. And as of this recording, I have a meeting at the Owensboro Sports Center tomorrow to figure out the video capabilities. So that's going to be fun.
There you go. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be, are you doing commentary? Do you know?
I'm sure I will. I mean, if I show up, I don't know what else I'd be doing. Unless, like, the video screen needs something like constant monitoring or something like that, but
okay.
But if you don't see me, just know that I'm in the rafters with the video screen Sting style.
It's Sting style. It's got the camera. My God, it's striking the rafters.
I'm gonna paint up.
It's gonna
so
record
y'all can zoom in on me from time to time. Hey, so also we were reading out comments and reviews on air.
Reviews.
On the last episode, we had some technical difficulties where during our comment reading section, I got disconnected and everything, and in the edit, it just didn't sound right. So we're going to go through and read these comments as well as some new ones.
Old and new. I like it. Now and later.
First off, on Apple Podcasts, for some reason, it doesn't let me see them. I didn't think we had any reviews because on the logged in side, it just tells me there's an error every time I go to look at them. But I looked at our page from the public-facing side, and we got 2 comments there, both 5 stars. Thank you so much.
Appreciate that.
MFox29 says, I have never laughed so hard.
I appreciate that. I got a good joke for you if after we're done with the comments.
Hey, you know what? Go ahead. Do it now.
Do it now?
Yeah, go ahead. Why not?
Joke break. So, what is the DJ's favorite type of sauce?
Go ahead.
Marinara. And since it's an audio podcast, when you do the marinara, you have to act like you're a DJ.
That's pretty sick.
And it's even funnier with a hand gesture. But what's the DJ's name?
Oh, shit. It's a 2-parter. I don't know.
Eric.
And you got to do the hand thing for that, too, right?
Oh, of course. That joke was dedicated to one MK Swift. If he listens, I told that joke to him on Saturday, and he found it hilarious.
That's awesome. Hey, I got a good joke for you, actually.
Yeah?
It's a knock-knock joke. Right?
Cease and desist.
Yeah. It's a knock-knock joke.
Okay.
All right, but you have to start.
Oh. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I don't know.
Come on.
I don't know. Who's there? I'm knocking. Do I say my name? Tyler?
Hey, whatever.
What do you mean, hey, what?
Whatever, man. You just don't get it.
What do you mean?
Whatever.
Shut the fuck up.
I've done that to so many people before where I'm like, all right, you start it. And they're like, knock, knock. And I'll go, who's there? And then they just freeze. They don't know what to do.
I don't know. What do you want me to... The KGB.
Yeah, my type of humor is giving people social anxiety attacks. Just sweating, like, I don't know what to do next.
It's hilarious when a whole crowd of people's in the fetal position.
Yeah, just screaming.
They're like, what do I say?
All right, back to the comments.
Anyway.
Continuing with M. Fox, they said, I've never laughed so hard. Loved the PlayStation 2 versus Tyler's episode.
Oh, yeah.
I've never thought about it as versus before, but the thought of just like a bunch of Tylers smashing PlayStation 2
PlayStation, just destroying a field of PS2s.
Yeah. I still have my PS2 and a good majority of the games listed.
Who has
and then
M. Fox?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got a review from Front Yard Football All-Star. Now, we don't really know who that is. We've bounced back and forth on who this could be, but for the listeners, at least 2 or 3 times a year in high school, we would go to my front yard and invite a ton of people over and just have a big game of flag football. You know, draft Team Drake versus Team Tyler. And
that was good. It ended up being a birthday thing.
Yeah. To me, the funniest thing, though, is we never really invited too many people who were actually athletic. To me, that was part of the fun, was that it was our social circles who weren't exactly the jocks or anything. So there was always 1 or 2 standouts, but If anyone was watching those games and you were really into football, it probably would have been just some of the saddest games you've ever seen.
Oh, it would have been miserable.
But it was a blast. But front yard football, front yard, my God. Front yard football all-star.
Hey, pause for applause.
They say good stuff, 5 stars. 2 funny guys, very well produced.
Okay.
Listen to these guys tell jokes the whole time growing up. So glad they did this. They're hilarious. Thank you.
Well, we appreciate that.
That means a lot. And hey, maybe one day we'll do another football game when we're mid-40s and within the first 10 minutes everyone tears their ACL.
All getting wheeled off the cart.
Yeah, we're going to actually have to have medical staff show up to that one.
Yeah, legally, if you hold a football game and you are in a group of 45-year-olds, you have to have an EMT present.
All right, now on to the Spotify comments on episode 1, The Mall and the Beach. Jessica from Orlando says, 30 seconds in, oh my God, that's Neil.
That's what I say every time I listen to it.
Yeah, every single time. Every time I drop in the theme song, I'm like, it's Neil.
Oh, shit, Neil's here.
For those of you that don't know, Neil is a very good friend of ours that we went to high school with. He does the voiceover in the theme song. Everybody loves Neil. We'll have to have him on sometime.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, let's see here. On the episode 4, Creed and Nickelback, Danny says, that intro has me in tears laughing. The timing and the delivery, everything. Drake, you need to go to an open mic stand-up someday. Hey, you know what? Never say never. I've been scouting it out. I've been talking about wanting to do stand-up comedy for like 10 years now.
Yeah,
but man,
for a while.
Yeah, can't make that jump for some reason. It's I got a lot of fears about it. Got a note in my phone that's like, I don't know, 10 pages long of potential topics and jokes and everything. But
well, like people do backyard wrestling. We're just gonna do backyard comedy.
Dude, backyard comedy would be sick.
Just get a bunch of people out there standing on the porch, just rip some jokes off.
Yeah, the cops come shut us down because it's some sort of illegal
too funny
comedy ring. Too funny.
This is too funny. We're shutting this shit down.
They're not playing by the rules. There's too much blood.
There's too much blood.
Jessica is back in that one and says, thank you for recognizing butt rock as an official genre. Yeah, I think it deserves that recognition. It does make me laugh every time you listen to a local radio station and they'll say something like,
crank it to 13, rip the knob off.
Yeah, nothing but rock. Yeah, butt rock.
Yeah.
And then we have a comment from Elrond.
Hubbard?
Their profile picture is just Pepe the Frog.
Oh.
And it just says, I bought Fent from Dave Grohl once.
Wait, what?
I bought fentanyl from Dave Grohl once.
Oh.
If that's true, he's been knocked down to a 9 out of 10 in my book.
One peg.
Yeah, just one peg for the fentanyl.
It's a wild accusation.
That is a wild accusation. Hey, you know what? I need everyone to starting rumors about celebrities in our comments.
Yeah, please.
We need some crazy ones. You know what? At a party, I tried heroin with Michael Cera.
Ooh, all right. Vince Vaughn once pants me in front of a crowd of people.
Whoa, that's crazy.
All right. He was just like, hey, check this out. Whoop, there go my draws.
Diddy used to have wild sex parties.
Oh, well. Where are we predicting? Are we predicting what actually happens, or are we just making shit up?
We have recorded this episode of the podcast in 2015.
Okay, so we're the Simpsons now.
Episode 5, Tyler's in the PlayStation 2. Your mom's back.
Oh boy.
She says, fun fact about Hanson, Mbop was the very first song that Tyler asked me if I could buy for him. I had to buy the whole CD, and we only played Mbop in the car. I wanted to drive off the road.
Well, yeah, that's how they got the term, it's a bop, from Mbop.
You think that's what it's from?
Maybe. I don't know. Are we still just making shit up? Because if so, it sounds about right.
That would make too much sense.
Be like, hey, that's a bop. Oh, man. Okay, it's a bop.
Side note, Have you ever heard? It's an audio clip that went around the internet for a little bit. It's Kelsey Grammer introducing Hanson, like right after they got big, like at the Grammys. And the way he says "mbop" is one. I'm going to put it in right here, but it's one of the most unhinged things I've ever heard. He says something like, "And now with their song
Mbop." Mbop. Yeah, I remember that.
It's like Kelsey Grammer starting to scat.
Bop, bop, bop. Kelsey Grammer scatting would be the best part of Frasier.
Yeah. The last comment we have here is on the Tyler's and PlayStation 2 episode. The PS2 was the first... Oh, sorry, this is JC.
Oh, what up, JC?
The PS2 was the first disc-based console I ever owned. Got it for Christmas with WWF SmackDown Know Your Role, Cool Borders 2001, and then I got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, and it changed my life forever.
Hell yeah. Cool Borders was solid. I had that one.
Yeah.
I played as the guy with the afro. That was a good one. You didn't play that, but you played SSX.
Oh, man, I have spent hours on SSX. The other day, so I've got Nintendo Wii modded with a bunch of old GameCube games. And on SSX 3 and SSX on Tour, if you unlock all the peaks, it's one continuous mountain that it takes you like 20 to 40 minutes to get down.
I think I remember that.
And I did both of those tracks just for old time's sake, because in like late elementary school and middle school, I would always just sit in my room, start at the peak, and go all the way down the mountain while listening to the entirety of From Under the Cork Tree by Fall Out Boy.
That's very specific.
Oh, yeah. It was like two of my favorite things to do at the time, so I'd put them together.
Okay.
I also enjoy his note about Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, because to me that is the most underrated game in the Pro Skater series. I think I played it the most out of all the Pro Skaters. Like, I played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 a ton, but I got 3 on the GameCube and, like, tore it up.
I mean, obviously, I was a big Tony Hawk fan. Like, but how you did SSX, I would do that with Need for Speed 2.
Oh, yeah.
Was it just Need for Speed 2? Hot Pursuit, yeah. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. Because I would sit there for hours just jamming down that X button.
Yeah.
Well, do we have any more comments?
No, that's all the comments for now. But if you want us to read your comments, go ahead and leave them. Leave a review, leave some comments, whatever. We'll talk about them.
Do you want to do the new segment?
The new segment?
The new segment I talked to you about?
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay, so starting today, I don't know if it's going to be weekly or if it's going to be, whenever we can fit it in. And feel free to jump in on this. Also, talking to you, Drake, but also anybody listening, if you have comments, leave your comment about this. Because I want to start a new segment it's called Bitch About It.
Bitch about it.
Little things that bother me every single day. Because I got a decent little list. Maybe I'll just rip through them all.
Now, are we reviewing these two, or these mini reviews?
If we want to.
Because to me, we don't have enough stuff that sucks on this show. Me and you are so similar that we talk about things we like, and we're like, yeah, that ruled.
We could do a little mini review. You get out of 5, I get out of 5.
You know what?
Is that how we rank a mini review?
Let's do the 10 so that everything's on the same scale.
All right. I just figured if it was a mini review, we would down the scale.
Okay, it's out of 1.
Oh, out of 1. Ooh.
No, yeah, let's do 5. Let's do 5. Hey, we're workshopping it on air, and I like it.
And we'll just kind of see how it plays out. But to start this off, I'm gonna bitch about it. Why is beef jerky so fucking expensive?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that expensive. It's just slow cooked meat with some seasoning. Okay? It takes probably less effort to cook because you have to have that oven at a lower temperature.
I'm Googling why is beef jerky so expensive.
Okay, I was waiting for a response on that. I'm like, oh, okay, shot down.
No, that's the thing, because man, I love beef jerky and stuff like that, especially like being diabetic. There's no carbs or anything. Exactly. So I can eat as much of that really as I want if it wasn't for having to take out a loan every time I want to get some Jack Links.
like every time I go to the gas station, I'm like, oh, some jerky sounds good, and I'm not saying it's healthy for you, but it's a good source of like protein and stuff. But why is it $14 a bag for something that's not? I don't even get a lot of jerky in it.
This guy says beef jerky has two major inputs, steak and energy. Which combine to reduce the size of the weight in the steak. A pound of steak becomes a few ounces of beef jerky, and a few ounces of jerky need to cover the cost of the steak and the energy required to evaporate all the water and add the tasty smoke.
What energy, though? That's what I'm talking about. It should be less energy. It's less heat used. People put jerky. You can make jerky out in the sun on a hot day if you wanted to.
As an owner of an all-natural, grass-fed jerky company, I can give you tons of reasons it's so expensive. Here's a few. Requires lots of labor.
What?
Yeah, I guess.
What? It just sits there. It doesn't do anything. I've made jerky before.
Well, yeah, but did you, like, hunt down the animal and then chop it up and then preserve it?
Is this person doing that? Are they out there Steve Irwin in it for their jerky?
Yeah, I don't know.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about.
Often deals with lean beef, which is more expensive than pork, chicken, or even beef fat. This one I hate. Packaging can be quite expensive. Put it in a Ziploc, man.
Exactly.
I'm not picking up beef jerky that has the best label.
You wrap that shit up in saran wrap. I'll buy it for $2-3.
It takes a couple days from start to finish of even a small batch run.
I don't know. I've made it in a single day. And the people got factories for this shit. What do you mean it takes 2 or 3 days?
Oh, this guy has a 12-step program to make your own jerky. Here we go. Username Hamskillet says, 1. Buy a dehydrator. 2. Buy a big juicy hawk of beef. 3. Slice that bad boy up. 4. Lay them strips on the dehydrator grill. 5. Crank that beast machine on full blast. 6. Let those meat morsels go bone dry. 7. Dig in. 8. Realize... Yeah, we're going past dig in. 8. Realize you paid more for the meat than a bag of beef jerky. 9. Realize the yield you got was the same as the bag of beef jerky. 10. Realize you just ate raw meat that hasn't properly been cooked at 180 degrees because you skimped out and bought the dehydrator without a temperature dial. 11. Get salmonella. 12. Die.
Oh. All right. Well, 1 through 8 wasn't bad. That's just buy the meat, slice the meat, cook the meat, eat the meat.
Yeah, you could probably skip 9 through 12 on that process.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Some people didn't think that all the way through. They didn't know that I was going to bitch about it.
Here we go. Thank you. Here's some confirmation bias.
Okay.
Former employee of Jack Link's beef jerky here. I think we're talking to Jack Link. I think Jack Link is on this subreddit.
Jack Link himself?
Okay, Mr. Link says, that answer is it's not that expensive. The price you pay at the store is a huge markup because people pay much because, well, it's meat. The employees of Jack Link's can get the 1 pound bag of the employee store for like $2.
I don't know. I ain't buying none of their reasons because ain't no reason a bag of beef jerky should be any more than like $3 or $4.
Yeah. You ever found cheap beef jerky?
Yeah.
And then it tastes like shit?
No.
It's kind of hard to mess up.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's dried meat with some seasoning.
There was a pricing error at the supermarket by my house. I won't give any names in case their corporate is listening.
Yeah, all the corporates are listening.
Where they had a thing of beef sticks, and each beef stick was 25 cents.
Okay.
And so I came home with just bags and bags and bags of beef sticks.
You got sacks of meat over there.
I proteined up. I lost some weight. I ate them for like every snack.
Yeah, there you go.
The problem was our pantry was just full of beef sticks. So every time you opened it, just beef falling on you.
Beef pouring out, hitting you in the face. You wake up, get some beef in the face.
So yeah, the price of beef jerky, 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10. I'm gonna agree. 2 out of 10.
Yeah, and it's only getting that 1 point above 1 because it's a good way to know the quality of beef jerky.
I'm just saying, beef jerky should not be that expensive.
Yep.
And I speak for all of America on this. I'm not lying. All of America texted me this morning.
You are the best representative of America I can think of.
That's what I was thinking, right? When you think of me in front of the American flag with eagles flying over my head.
I always do.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it right now. Mentally picturing you as we talk on the call.
That should be everybody's background on their phone. You're welcome, America. I'm standing up for beef prices. Anyway, should we do another bitch about it? Or should we
Yeah, sure.
on?
Let's do one more.
One more. Here we go. I'm just going to go down the list of here. The lack of zero sugar drinks.
Lack of zero sugar drinks. Okay, so this is something I've bitched about since I became diabetic. Because there's some zero sugar drinks out there that there's some drinks out there I would love to drink a zero sugar version of.
Yeah.
But they're just not available.
I feel like it shouldn't be any harder to make. It's less ingredients. You're taking the sugar out.
Yeah, you just have to go in and get rid of every grain of sugar in the drink.
They have somebody there at the factory, the drink factory. They shrink him down to size, and he goes in and he blasts all the sugar out.
He's got a little tiny pair of tongs and some scuba gear.
What's so hard about that shit?
I will say though, it has come a long way in the last few years. Used to, you couldn't find a zero version of an energy drink. Now, I am surprised every time there's an energy drink that has like carbs listed.
Yeah. And honestly, some people will bitch about how zero sugar doesn't taste the same as regular. It tastes pretty much the same. Okay. Yeah. You just want to bitch about it for no reason. And this is my bitch about it. So back off. I'll fight you for it.
This is his segment.
I'm getting copyrights on this. Patent pending. But that's what I'm saying. I agree. So Mountain Dew has Mountain Dew Voltage, which is like a blue raspberry Mountain Dew. And it is by far the best Mountain Dew flavor there is. But I don't get it because it's not zero sugar. And not because I'm not diabetic or anything. I'm just doing it just as like a health thing. I don't want as much sugar in my body.
You think you would have caught my diabetes by now.
You're right. As much as we've made out and kissed.
Right.
But I'm just it's just an easy, I go to the gas station. I'm like, oh man, I really want this orange soda, but there's no zero sugar. Or it's not available everywhere either.
Yeah.
Why do some gas stations have the zero sugar Dr. Pepper, but others don't? It makes no sense to me.
I'll tell you right now, I love grape soda. You remember pyramids of empty grape soda cans in my bedroom growing up.
Oh, yeah.
But they do not no one makes a zero sugar grape soda. Have not found it anywhere.
Absolutely stupid because they make zero sugar Big Red.
Yeah. Zero sugar Big Red is just cold cough syrup, I think.
It's just cold.
That's all it is.
Yeah, probably.
Ran some NyQuil through a soda stream, gave it some CO2.
Yeah. It was your parents. They pumped
That's Big Red. Yeah.
Your parents created zero sugar Big Red.
Yeah, they got the soda stream out and just pumped it up.
Knocked the dust off that thing, and they were just like, oh, we got any soda you want.
Dude, those things were all the rage for a while.
Oh, I remember going over your house whenever your parents first got that thing. And they were just like, I'm just like, oh, what do you want to drink? We'll make it for you. I'm just like, what do you mean? They're just like, oh, we'll make it for you. And then here,
yeah. We had so many half-assed sodas in the fridge. So many.
We got a citrus drop in here. You want that?
And then, the moment that anyone would come over and be like, hey, you know what? I don't really enjoy this. This doesn't really taste like the real thing that much. We'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
You leave this premises now.
You leave our house. Get.
You are banished for life.
Get. And then you,
drink
a non-soda stream soda, and you're like, oh, yeah, this is better.
And that's why they kicked you out and made you go to college.
Yeah, that's why I don't live there anymore.
That's why you don't live there anymore.
Yeah, so lack of zero sugar drinks.
Yeah.
It's tough. I'm going to say 1 out of 10. That's not cool.
Oh, yeah. 1 out of 10. It's
less
I'm not going to lie. I'm a bitch about it, so they're going to be pretty low on the scale. But this podcast needs some negativity every now and then.
You're going to have one that I'm like, actually, I really love that. 10 out of 10. I don't know what it's going to be, but
yeah,
it'll be there.
We'll find out in weeks to come.
Using sandpaper as toilet paper. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Sometimes you need that. Really get in there.
It really gets a good grip on it.
Yeah, gets the really tough stuff out.
Some of that shit that's just locked in there. You gotta sand that thing away.
So there's a little bit of a story behind this topic.
Okay, is this your review topic?
Yeah. I won't go into detail about what I do for work because there's a lot of different things I do for work. I work for like 3 or 4 different companies. I'm freelance, whatever. But I had to work an event for cage fighting, MMA.
Okay. Hell yeah.
In Evansville, Indiana.
Mixed martial arts, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I won't tell you what I was doing there. I was fighting.
Jerking it?
Yes.
Fighting your hog?
Yeah.
Wrestling down your snake?
No, it was something production wise.
Okay.
But I've never been to like live MMA events before. And I had some opinions on MMA before going to this. I know, so for our generation, growing up, early thousands, early 2010s and stuff, I feel like we were that first generation where people were getting into MMA.
Yeah. All the tap-out shirts were popular. And
Tap-out shirts were popular. People would just put, like, mats in their garage.
oh, yeah.
And I remember in middle school, a big group of us would get together in this one guy's garage and just, like, do fights. And they were all trained in MMA and stuff. And I was not, so I just sat out.
He brought them juices and snacks.
Yeah. This was the first generation too where like you really had to watch who you were picking on, because if you watch in like 80s and 90s movies, it was like, hey, look at that nerd.
Yeah.
But for the first time, like these nerds could be really good at MMA or something. Like it was very an era of don't judge a book by its cover. I mean, MMA was finally accessible to everyone. It was the hot thing. Just different fighting types and Muay Thai and, mixed martial arts. But for years, I would see clips from UFC and stuff, and to me, all the best MMA fights or UFC fights can be contained in a 10-second video.
Oh, like you can scroll on Facebook and you can see the best fight ever because it's 30 seconds.
Yeah, you want to see a knockout. You don't want to see two dudes just like, at least I don't. You don't want to see two dudes just hugging on the ground for 10 minutes. That's why I was into pro wrestling, because, like, yeah, it is, like, scripted in a sense and stuff. I mean, the injuries are real and everything. But if you were to watch a basketball game, and you watch one basketball game where they're like, hey, they might hit a three-pointer, and then there's another basketball game that's like, these dudes are going to be doing the craziest dunks you've ever seen the whole time.
Well, yeah, it's like watching a regular NBA game versus watching, like, the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah, for sure. There's fans of both.
Yes, and it's accepted to be fans of both.
Yes. So I'm at this MMA fight, and there's 13 fights. And, the first few fights, I'm like, okay, these dudes are, it was your typical standard fare. Nothing, not trying to offend any MMA or UFC fans out there, but it was like, they're going the full 5 rounds, they're barely touching, they do a couple submissions and go to a judge's call. And the whole time I'm thinking like, man, all these dudes are coming out and just walking to the ring to their music, no personality, nothing, getting in there, trading submissions and leaving. I need some showmanship. I need some characters, something. And then we played the music for this guy who called himself the Mongoose.
Okay, pause. That is a tremendous nickname.
Yes.
Because that's one thing that I will say, like, with most, like, fighting sports, people have the wildest nicknames. They could have, like, a regular-ass, like, name. It'd be like, but they have a nickname, like the Executioner.
Yeah.
Like, you could just walk up and be like, oh, my name's Bill the Executioner. And be like, oh, shit. Why they call him that?
And it's just a normal dude.
Yeah.
The Mongoose, everyone's got, I'd say, about 50 feet to walk to the cage. and everyone's kind of taking their time or whatever and just doing normal walks. They say, all right, ladies and gentlemen, the mongoose. And he sprints out from the back, holding a Chucky doll over his head. I still don't know why, but he's waving it around, and I mean full sprint to the ring.
Okay.
And I'm like, this guy's great. And then I'm told that this guy accepted this fight 6 days ago. So they don't expect him to be doing great or anything, because like he didn't know his opponent. There's no, like, the other guy dropped out. He may not even have been like prepping for a fight.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So they just got like a filler.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, he's good enough to get in there and put on a fight, but we don't expect him to win by any means. He had no time to like prep.
Yeah. He just dropped a weight class.
Okay.
Like within a week to get this fight, which could be bad for him as well, because, you know, you lost all that weight and that'll take a lot out of you that quick. But they check him out and they're like, all right, you can enter the cage. You know, they do their pre-match checks. And he front rolls into the ring.
Okay.
And front rolls a second time, almost like he's going to take off like Sonic the Hedgehog.
He's charging up.
And I'm like, this guy is crazy. And then the second guy comes out, and the second guy's just, he's known he's going to fight, whatever.
Yeah.
He's walking to the ring. Very boring guy. So the fight starts, and the mongoose, this is all within about 30 seconds.
All right.
The mongoose takes down the other guy. The other guy puts him in a triangle choke.
Okay.
And then the mongoose stands straight up, 12-6, got the other guy on his shoulders, and power bombs the dude, like sit out power bomb, just drops him right on the back of his head and knocks the other guy out. I mean, his feet are crossed. They can't do nothing with him. And Mongoose just starts running circles around him, stands up on the cage, jumps down, does a cartwheel. This dude's out in the middle of the ring still. He's surrounded by people, right?
Okay.
To the point that this guy is down long enough that for the next 5 or 10 minutes as part of the production, we just have to loop music over the PA system.
Oh.
And the doctors are finally like talking over the microphone being like, can you turn the music down, please? We're trying to
make sure this guy's alive.
And then the mongoose was like, he did his post-fight interview and he's like, don't doubt me, man. This is the second time in a row I've done this. And I'm like, with these circumstances? Like, you powerbombed a guy that you didn't know you were going to fight?
So this dude just little preparation, except in his head, he's like, I'm going to fuck this guy up.
Right, yeah.
He's like, if please put me in a choke. I want to slam you. And then he just like knocks this dude dead. D-E-D dead.
Right.
And then proceeds to throw the Macy's Day Parade around him.
Yeah.
He's bringing out a jazz ensemble. He's doing a New Orleans style parade. And the dude is just in the middle of the ring just sleeping.
The guy that got knocked out, he sits up and the crowd's applauding. And the first thing he does is he looks up at the mongoose and then he goes, out of just like frustration that he realized he got knocked out.
He just straight up lost to the dude. Well, he lost to the mongoose. What do you expect?
Right. Yeah, everyone loses.
What was this other guy's nickname? Anything cool?
Nothing. He was just a guy.
He was just Dave from down the road.
Yeah, like I wish there was something memorable about him.
He's just like knocked out. Barbecue Dave.
Yeah.
Be like he's like versus the mongoose. See, the mongoose is a character that I would expect in like a Mortal Kombat selection.
Right, yeah.
Like he's standing, he's got like a little bop to him and stuff like that. Probably a mohawk. I don't know. But damn.
Yeah. He's a very gimmicked up guy. There were also two other big moments that happened. One was this guy who just won the championship apparently at one of the last shows.
Okay.
And they were like, this is his first defense. He's known to knock out people super quick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, so they're putting him in here with this guy. It's going to be a title fight. They'll go for a while. 9 seconds.
Oh, shit.
They run toward each other. He picks up the other guy and gives him like a spine buster, and it doesn't even look that bad or anything. It's just like a boop, dropped him down, and that guy was knocked out as well.
Damn.
And it's like, golly, like
bunch of greenhorns in there trying to take bumps in the ring, knocking each other out. Damn.
But to me, one of the best fights of the night was if you look at the weight class, you could look at the rundown of all 13 and it'll say, so-and-so versus so-and-so 135, so-and-so versus so-and-so 175. This one just said this guy versus this guy, heavy.
Heavy.
And I was like, that's going to be crazy. So these two dudes walk to the ring. And the first thing that happens is they were like fight number 8 or so of the night. And MMA is a surprisingly religious, right-leaning sport, I feel like.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's a lot of, if you watch UFC and stuff especially, there's a lot of, Make America Great Again type guys and stuff like that.
I can see that. And that's one of, it's probably an unfortunate stigma, but it's something that they present themselves,
Yeah.
Because it's if I watched a UFC fight, I would feel almost like I'm supporting a whole let's go America kind of thing, but in a shitty I'm a douchebag way.
Yeah, very Joe Rogan-y.
Yeah, exactly.
Things like that. So nearly everyone who had won up to this point, they would just pulverize their opponent and then get the microphone and be like, Jesus Christ is Lord, I can't do anything without God.
I just knocked this motherfucker out. Thank you, God.
Jesus loves you. He was with me here tonight. And stuff like that.
I used the fist of Jesus to punch him in the stomach.
Yeah. So the first guy comes out, and this dude is giant. They were the heavy ones. These two dudes were just built like a lot of dudes were cut and everything. These dudes were farm strong, just big guys.
Country hosses.
Yeah. So the first guy comes out and he's got this religious song. I don't know if it was a Lecrae song or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And then the second guy comes out and he comes out to a song that's called I Am the Devil.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, this guy is crazy.
There we go. I'm going to root for that guy.
Into the second or third round, in wrestling, they call it the hockey fight spot.
Yeah.
You see it a lot in hockey fights. Someone grabs the collar of a shirt or the back of the neck or something,
and they're
just punching each other in the face.
Yeah, they're throwing haymakers out there, molly-whopping each other.
No blocks, nothing. I do hear a lot of criticism. I have also been a critic of that spot in wrestling where it's just oh, come on, that's not, realistic. It kind of makes your punches look weaker or whatever.
Yeah.
These two dudes did that in a real fight, and they're just walloping each other, right?
Okay.
Until the guy who did the I Am the Devil entrance song busts open the other guy's face and just starts getting his blood everywhere. And they have to stop the match because the other guy's bleeding so much.
Okay.
And then the ref calls it. And that guy grabbed the microphone. They're like, hey, you just won the heavyweight division match. How do you feel about this tonight? And he said, quote, fuck, that was fun.
Oh, shit.
And he's like, a lot of people want to come out here. They want to win championships. And that's nice. But I just want to fight some more, man. It's real fun in here.
Okay. So those dudes might be clinically insane.
Yeah. To the point that also, we're at the production table running this stuff, and about 3 more fights in, that guy, I've never met him or anything, but the guy who won walks up to us holding 2 beers, one against his face, I guess, to take down swelling, and one he's just drinking out of. And he's like, what'd you think of my fight? And never seen this guy before in my life. And I was like, you did really good. He's like, thanks, it was fun, man.
Oh, okay, that's a little concerning.
And I was like, yeah, that was sick as hell, man.
That was something.
But after working that event, I couldn't help but think about I don't know if you've ever been to MMA Live. It was a lot of fun.
I'm sure it's probably got some aspects to it that can be really cool because they got 13 fights on this card, but some of those fights are only lasting max of 30 seconds.
The whole show was done in 2.5 hours.
Yeah, you see 2 people get in there and you're just like, okay, cool, I might get some popcorn. And then you're just like, oh, fuck, there's a new fight? What happened? You'd be like, oh, right. You just straight up powerbombed this motherfucker and he got knocked out.
Yeah, it's insane.
Okay.
But it also did make me want to look into MMA a little bit more as a sport. I didn't want to go too far in it and just be one of those MMA guys. But
Yeah.
I started looking at different types of MMA. Now, I think you might have sent this to the group chat. Armored MMA?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm looking. I have their PDF of rules pulled up right now.
Okay, I seen the video and I thought it was a funny video, so I sent it to you. But yeah, just armored MMA, like they get medieval style knight armor on.
Yeah.
And they just start beating the shit out of each other.
According to this website, they just had an event in Nashville. We missed it. But yeah, they're knocking the shit out of each other with medieval weapons dressed as knights and everything. That's cool.
See, that's fun. That's like watching. You remember BattleBots?
Yeah.
Like getting the little robots out there. See, something like that would be like, oh hey, what are you guys gonna do down in Nashville? I don't know. We might look for a hockey game or something like that, and then be like, oh, we found armored MMA.
I just did a job for some people who were like a BattleBots champion.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they had the BattleBot there at the shoot while we were shooting their facility just to show us. And I mean, that thing was huge.
Damn.
And they had BattleBots toys and stuff released to Target and everything. And they made toys of this BattleBot.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, and so they had like the toys all around the office and everything. And then the place we were working for made the trophies, like the big nut with the BattleBots logo and everything. They just made those. Yeah.
That's pretty
the
cool.
big nuts.
like playing with the big nuts.
Yeah.
Hey mom, can I get the big nut toy? I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, what was that?
What was that again? Run that by your father.
Real quick, there is 2 more different types of MMA that I had found. One was blindfolded MMA. The video was hilarious because it's just 2 dudes swinging and trying to find each other. And the whole time the referee's like, oh no, and they're like swinging at the referee and everything. And it seems to always end in a draw because they cannot find each other.
Huh. Which makes sense. It's gonna punch in like the cage and shit.
Yeah, it wasn't very exciting to watch, but it was a fun novelty.
That'd be on like ESPN 8, the Ocho.
And then the other one, this was kind of viral for a little while. Group MMA, 5-on-5.
Oh, okay.
Which you can do in like pro wrestling because you can kind of, format a match or something to like build an underdog or whatever. But in 5 versus 5, like shoot team MMA fighting, it's like once one team is down one guy, it's over. Because then you can have 2 guys beating the shit out of one guy. And then 3 guys just jumping one dude and stomping him out.
But could you imagine the underdog fight for that one guy versus 5?
Yeah, 5-on-1 would be nuts.
Like they're like 5-on-1, they're mollywhopping, they're whooping this dude's ass, right? And then he just does like a big Hulk up out of nowhere, just single-handed, just beating the shit out of 5 dudes. He's the next president. That's how you determine the presidency. Yeah. Make that guy the president.
I googled group MMA, and there is a video that is 25 minutes long that says USA versus Russia, 5 versus 5 team MMA fighting. And I'm not gonna watch it, but it says there's 10 key moments from the video.
Okay.
And I just want you to hear the order of some things. It says, match starts, so-and-so versus so-and-so, 2-on-2. It like breaks down when like one person's eliminated and stuff like that. But it says right here, fighter breakdown, dancers come in.
Oh.
And then there's a thumbnail of like 2 women entering the octagon, just in like a shirt and yoga pants. And I guess they dance. Maybe there's like a break in between, or like that's what they do when the fighters go back to their corners. I don't know.
Okay.
Now, bad things about MMA. We talk about how there's a lot of bigotry. There's a lot of like money issues and stuff. I mean, some dudes are getting the shit beat out of them for like
10, 15
no
money.
money.
Yeah.
And even when you get to the UFC, there's like an awful percentage going to the fighters. Like they get paid well, but they're severely underpaid.
I'm sure for the amount that their body goes through.
Yeah, and compared to other athletes.
Yeah.
There are all of those fights that just go to a judge's decision. Those are boring.
That's like, what was that fight recently? Mike Tyson and
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, cool. And people were just like, oh, Mike Tyson's going to win. Because, oh, Jake Paul's going to win. Be like, they all win. They got a guaranteed $10 million. And it's just like, yeah.
Just kind of spar.
That's the part where I'm just like, well, yeah, if I'm getting $10 million, if like we're getting $10 million each, yeah, we can either end it really quick and just somebody get knocked out, or we just kind of punch each other, give them a show, and we walk away with $10 million each.
Yeah. So
at the end, and it was like at the end of round 6 or something. I don't know, but yeah, the draw thing is kind of like, all right, cool.
Possibility of seeing a broken bone.
Those are always fun.
Not to me, man. Anytime I see a broken bone, like if there's, I've always been this way. I can take however much blood there is. When I see an arm dangling the wrong way, I'm out.
Oh, see, that's where I'm
about to throw up
because I watched the video and I will rewatch the video over, and especially like the ones where somebody kicks them so hard their own leg breaks.
No, I can't.
How wild is that shit? Somebody gets kicked in the, like, I'm kicking somebody in the leg and then my own leg wraps around and touches my knee. Holy shit. How hard is that motherfucker getting kicked?
That is wild as hell. But
I think that's crazy.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know, man. As soon as I see a bone going the way that it's not supposed to go, I tense up.
I'm also a big fan of seeing like X-rays, like people's bones. I think that's fucking crazy, especially broken bone X-rays. Those are awesome.
You remember that show Scarred, where the lead singer Papa Roach would just show clips of people breaking bones and being like, "Fuck yeah, check this out! Look at this shit!
Look at this! He ripped his nutsack in half."
Yeah, I could never watch. I watched one episode where a guy was doing BMX. And like the back spoke of his BMX bike went through his calf. Yeah. And I'm just like, no.
Wild shit. So that stuff's cool. Like people getting, like I said, people getting their sack stripped open on skateboards and then they're playing with them like one of those fushigi balls. Just as a magical orb.
They're like, look at the ground behind them. There's one nut still on the sidewalk.
It actually landed in some wet cement, so it's implanted there for life. It's like a Hollywood Walk of Fame for skateboard nuts.
He's going to need a nudicle.
Nudicle.
That's a fake nut.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, nudicles.
That's funny. That's a cute name for a fake nut.
Yeah, isn't it? It's like, oh, I wonder what a nudicle is.
Got a little nudicle in me.
Got a little nudicle.
That actually also sounds like something that would be on Tony Hawk.
Yeah, the backside nudicle?
Yeah, totally nudicle, dude.
If you hit like the nudicle gap, it gives you every point available in the game.
That nudicle gap, you get 3 nuts.
Yeah, they give you a third one.
They give you a third one
for your custom skater.
I wonder if anybody's ever done that. Have they ever they already have 2 good working balls, but they're just like, man, I got so much extra room in here.
It's so spacious.
It's so spacious. These boys need a third fella in there. Like, can we get a doctor? Can I get a nudicle?
That's what the sitcom Three's Company was originally about.
Getting a nudicle.
All right, I'm turning on the safe search. 3rd testicle added. Let's see here.
You safe search on that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't give me the AI overview. What is this? Extra testicular. Yeah, it looks like a lot of people not a lot of people, but it looks like not everyone. It's looking like people are born with them sometimes.
One person that's born with 3 nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, to get that average up, everyone typically has 1 to 2, and then one guy has about 58.
58.
It's like a lunch sack full of marbles.
Yeah, it's like Boba.
Yeah, that's why we used to call that guy Mr. Boba.
Yeah, exactly. And look out, Boba's walking in the halls.
Yeah, it looks like it's just people born with a 3rd one. No one's adding them.
Oh, see, people do all sorts of crazy things to their body.
Get some mods going on, man.
Get some ball mods, please. Put the cheat code in for more balls.
Yeah, maybe.
Then you can really clickety-clack them things around like those things that sit on the desk. The kinetic energy things.
Maybe add a pair of truck nuts.
I got my real nuts taken off to put on truck nuts. Next on Maury.
So MMA.
Oh yeah, about that. My bad.
I'm gonna give it 6 out of 10.
Okay, that's not bad. It's kind of middle of the road, but it's not
Yeah.
bad, especially with.
Yeah, I wanted to go a little over
It's
middle of the
more
road.
like, and we kind of talked more about one MMA experience, but MMA overall. You know, I'm gonna go 5 out of 10.
Hell yeah, 11 out of 20.
Not too bad for MMA.
Sweet.
Chuck Liddell's gonna kick my door down here in a minute.
Oh yeah, is he still alive?
Yeah, Iceman. I am talking about what might be a controversial drink choice. So, some people love it, some people hate it, and that's fine. But I'm going to talk about root beer.
Root beer, no! Root beer! No, root beer, no! So much root beer, no!
I'm going to crack a fresh one. Hang on. Here's a little.
Oh, that was nice. That was nice.
Yeah, practice that.
So I knew you were going to talk about this. Can I read the text where this came up?
Absolutely, you can.
I have it pulled up right here. So,
Please do.
for context, Tyler's
Yes.
in the group chat sending a TikTok about there's this thing. I had seen a news story about it, but I didn't look into it or anything. But it's a video of a soda machine that dispenses free mug root beer that says "Got that dog in you." Where if you stand in front of the machine and you bark, it will give you a free root beer.
Which, honestly, fantastic way to get people to drink root beer.
Yeah, I would be in there just barking like hell.
I'd be barking up I'd be getting all my dogs in there.
So I said, gotta find one of those machines. And Tyler said, be sounding like a dog pound. Also,
I forgot.
This is Tyler in the group chat.
This is quote me.
Dog pound could be a term for when you and your homie touch tips. Like a fist bump, but with 2 wieners instead. The dog pound.
The best thing is, I was just laying in bed. We were just sitting there, and I was just like, that's kind of funny. I just thought of that shit. Give me a dog pound.
So natural.
What up, homie? Give me a dog pound.
Dog pound right here.
Zip.
So,
Where my dog's
naturally, we got to talk about root beer.
Yeah, clearly. That's what we're talking about for my topic of choice. It's going to be root beer.
So a lot of root beers have caffeine in it.
Yeah, as most regular sodas do.
But a lot of root beer doesn't have caffeine, so it's kind of a crapshoot.
It's good because also root beer is pretty regularly available in zero sugar.
Yeah.
Which is nice because the zero sugar root beer has 0 caffeine.
Right.
Here in our humble abode, we keep root beer regularly in stock because it's delicious. I'm not going to say it's good for you, but it's good for your soul.
Yeah.
It's good for your heart. You can do a lot of things with it. Should we talk about the history of root beer?
Do you know about the history of root beer?
No, but Google does, and I'm looking at it.
So I really
Just to give a backstory to anybody that doesn't know about root beer.
looks like it's been around since the 18th century.
It's been around for a hot minute. Its early roots have been used for medical purposes.
Really?
Yeah, root beer's origins can be traced to Native American medicinal root teas, which contained various leaves, roots, barks, fruits, and flowers. So you got thank you to the Native American traditions. Made with sassafras, a fragrant tree.
Didn't know what that was.
Me either. Sassafras, a primary ingredient in early root beers. A lot of the bark of the sassafras tree, which is probably where they get the Bark Root Beer Company.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You like root beer, don't you?
Yeah, I love root beer. It's one of them that I used to drink a ton of whenever I was super young. I haven't drank a lot of it here lately. as far back as I remember in kindergarten, after my mom had opened a 2-liter in the kitchen like the day before, and it exploded because it's very, root beer does that. That's a very
It's a very fizzy drink.
And I told everyone in my kindergarten class that when it exploded, it filled our entire kitchen with root beer. Like we had to swim in it.
You're swimming through root beer.
And everyone was like, "Whoa!"
That's crazy. I got to go to Drake's house.
Yeah, and I remember like the rest of the day feeling really bad. I was like, I lied to everyone. I'm a phony.
Yeah, God's going to burn you for that. You're going straight to hell.
Oh, yeah.
So when you die and, if there is a heaven, you're not going there.
St. Peter's standing there with A&W. Shouldn't have lied.
He's just drinking it in front of you. He's like, you're going to hell where they only serve warm root beer.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Root beer was, I think growing up and being an adult and everything now, that's why I don't like actual beer, is because we didn't have beer around the house growing up or anything. We grew up in a dry county, so I mean, it was even it was a whole labor trying to like go get alcohol for anyone. But I assumed beer tasted like root beer.
Oh.
I just thought root beer was like a non-alcoholic beer, so when I drank root beer, I was like, hey, this stuff's good.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought too when I was younger. I'm just like, oh, it's got beer in the name, so I'm just drinking this non-alcoholic version of what my parents drink. So I'm just like, oh, hell yeah, let's go. I'm going to pound these down. Yeah.
Anytime I saw someone that was like a alcoholic where it's like destroying their life, I'm like, hey, brother, I get it. I've had barks.
I've been on a root beer bender since last Tuesday, man. Are you kidding me?
I've been drinking root beer all day, and I don't give a friggin' heck, dude.
I don't give a gosh darn, okay? Let me give me a cold one after I get home from school. Playing Need for Speed, drinking root beer, drunk driving. It's the root beer, man, I swear.
Yeah, sorry. I failed your breathalyzer. There's this place in Renee's hometown that is known for its in-house made root beer.
Okay.
And on their menu, you can get a gallon of root beer to take home. It's like in a milk jug, whatever.
I'm drinking that now.
And there is a gallon of diet root beer. And being diabetic, I was like, sweet, let me get that. So Renee gets a gallon of the regular root beer, and they go over to their like fancy tap and everything, and it comes right out of there. And then they said, what'd you like? I was like, let me get one of the diet ones. And then they go over to like the kitchen area. It's all pretty much out in the open. And put a funnel in a gallon and opened a 2-liter of Diet A&W and just poured it into the gallon. And I was like, you should probably go do that somewhere else. That way people can just like, you can lie about it. And they're like, no, that's the only diet root beer we have. And I'm like, God, okay.
Yeah, well, why would you? Why would you sell? Why would you even offer it if it's not your house root beer?
Right. I mean, it was good, but I was like, there's nothing special about this.
Yeah, but I can go to Walmart and get like a couple of 2 liters of Diet A&W.
Right, exactly.
Like, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the times, for me anyway, as a kid, love root beer. Then I started growing up, and I was just like, didn't even think about it until my adult years, like in my like late 20s, 30s.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, root beer is fucking amazing. And even some offshoots of root beer. By offshoots, I mean cream soda.
Yeah, cream soda is good.
Cream soda's delicious.
It's too sweet for me, even like the diet ones.
Yeah, so we recently found a 0 sugar cream soda.
Yeah. Is it the A&W one?
Yeah.
Yeah. My daughter drinks the crap out of that.
Made a root beer float with her not long ago.
Speaking of her and root beer.
Oh,
this reminds me of the other day I forgot to mention. She got some Dum Dum suckers from school.
Nice.
And she had one, and every time she has one, she looks at the wrapper and she's like, blueberry, if it's a blueberry one and stuff. They got the little pictures of what they are on them.
Yeah.
And she got a root beer one, and she was eating it, and she looked at the wrapper and she went, barrel flavored. They're like, it's all barrels.
They got little barrels on them.
She goes, barrel flavored. And I was like, no, that's root beer, babe. For our listeners, my daughter is 15 years old.
His daughter is 28.
No, she's 5, but she was like, barrel flavored. And I was like, no, I don't.
She's gonna go around licking barrels now.
Yeah. Sweet. She's going to get all these splinters and stuff. Like, why doesn't it taste like the sucker?
Why is my tongue bleeding? I've just been licking this barrel. Be like, well, you dummy. Quit.
Right.
But if you say it in a cute voice, it's fine. Be like, oh,
yeah, it's fine.
Quit licking barrels, you little shithead.
Hey, dumbass.
You little fucking idiot. Oh. I don't know. I've just been a big root beer fan, and I appreciate that A&W has 0 sugar. I'm going to shout out A&W. Let's get a sponsor going.
Yeah, hey, shout out A&W.
But what are your favorite root beers?
Oh, God.
Do you have a brand? Are you a brand-specific root beer person? Because there are some that are better.
I don't think so. I do like Barks, but that's because of all the puns you can do with it.
Can you?
Like, so for example, whenever my wife and I were leaving for our honeymoon way back,
yeah,
we were in the airport and she had a Barks soda at one of the restaurants, and she was like, "Hey, can you go get me a refill?" And I was like, "Listen, I know we just got married and everything, but if you expect me to go get your root beer refilled every time you ask me to, you're barksing up the wrong tree."
Oh, okay.
So Barks.
Yeah, that's a good one. There's Barks root beer. There's like 3 or 4 big root beers. Nobody's gonna know what Bundaberg root beer is. Okay.
What?
I don't know. I'm just reading root beers.
Oh,
Bundaberg.
Okay. I was like,
there's Dad's root beer. I heard that one's good.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Dad's isn't bad. Mug's not bad. I don't think it's best though. I think A&W is the best.
A&W stands for Allen and Wright. That's
okay,
the 2 dudes who put together draft root beer.
The brothers, right? Allen and Wright brothers.
No.
Oh, okay.
Do you think that guy's name is Wright?
Yeah.
It's Alan Wright and his brother Wright.
His brother's name. They have a third brother named Left Right.
Yeah.
Put them together. They're a cheat. They're a cheat code.
Wright is actually his son because, right makes a left.
Oh. That's actually pretty funny. But the best way to drink an A&W root beer would be in those frosted glass mugs that they have at the restaurants. Because why else? How else are the glasses going to be? What other purpose is that glass going to hold besides to be frosted?
Yeah, until they start sweating.
Start sweating out there, working hard to be root beer.
Yeah, those are tough.
And keep sweating.
There's a mascot for A&W.
Is there?
Oh, it's the Root Bear.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. See, I thought Coca-Cola had all bears marketed.
Yeah, no, this is just a bear wearing a sweater that says A&W.
All right.
In 2013, Root Bear became the first mascot to have an official LinkedIn profile, which was shut down as Root Bear was not considered real.
That's fair.
Come on, man.
But was Tom real on MySpace?
Yeah, he's been a figment of our imagination.
Yeah, no one's ever seen that guy in real person. He's like Neil. He's like a unicorn.
Yeah.
You might see him out in the forest somewhere.
Oh my God. Listen to this. Root Bear made national headlines in 2023 when a parody tweet referencing the M&M's controversy was posted to its social media profiles, showing Root Bear wearing pants, claiming that the mascot's lack of pants was polarizing.
Wait. So now we're going to have a controversy about bears wearing no pants?
Yeah, so the Root Bear has a sweater and no pants. It says outrage started emerging from conservative sectors, including Fox News and Fox Business, claiming it to be real. Yeah, so they're like, put some pants on that bear. Or wait, no. They were against it, so they
want the pants off the bear?
I guess the woke left wants you to put pants on the bear.
The woke left. But does anybody have a problem with Winnie the Pooh not wearing pants?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because there's a reason why there's a term called Winnie the Pooh in it when you got shirt no pants.
I'm pretty sure the Constitution mentions something about having the right to bear legs.
Exactly. There's a right to bear arm. There should be a right to bear leg.
Yeah, that's an amendment that was put in later.
Yeah, and then there's a right to bury left. But I don't know. That's interesting. So Fox News is Fox News the same people that wanted the green M&M to not be sexy?
No, they were mad that it was getting changed. They said, "Give us our sexy green M&M
Okay,
back."
yeah. So they wanted the sexy green M&M, and they want no pants on bears.
The liberals want to take away our sexy green M&M.
they're all these bear legs and sexy green M&Ms are going to be gone because of the liberals.
You know, food mascots just aren't hot enough. That's what I'm saying.
You know, I'm a bitch about it.
I have all these fantasies about Grimace, and damn it, you're not going to take that away from me.
Chester Cheeto better start wearing a bikini now. God damn. I got a root beer hack if you want one.
Root beer hack?
Yeah, I just made this up. Oh, also, I got a shout out because of our third friend in the group chat. He wanted to make sure we mentioned IBC root beer. IBC? Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah, who cares about his opinion?
My mortal enemy, who's also in our group chat for some reason.
Fuck that guy and his IBC root beer.
I think I want to start a feud with someone ironically, and I've been trying to decide whether it's going to be our third friend or if it's going to be your cat, Ozzy.
Ooh.
Like, there's something funny to me about just, like, having, like, an enemy that is a cat.
for no reason other than he's my cat.
And and the fact that it's your cat. I'm like,
yeah.
Fuck him, dude. Anytime I come over and he's there, I'm like, oh, I didn't know Ozzy was going to be here. I guess I could just leave.
I didn't know we were letting pieces of shit in here. My bad.
Oh, look at what the you dragged in.
You pussy. But anyway, my root beer hack. Okay. So, if you ever have yourself, I guess it can be with any root beer choice. We've been using A&W here at our household. So you pour yourself your root beer in your glass, and then you take, I've done it with different flavors, but the best one so far has been the French vanilla coffee creamer.
Huh.
You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I see where you're going.
Yeah, so you take the root beer, you put a little, you know, you can adjust the taste, but you put the French vanilla coffee creamer in there, it tastes just like a root beer float.
That's a pretty good hack.
You don't got to worry about going through the hassle of getting the ice cream and then getting that little foamy bit that the ice cream creates.
Yeah, that's the worst, man. Ice cream and root beer together.
But I'm just
it's
saying,
so fucking inconvenient.
Tell me about it. Can't take that shit anywhere. You gotta eat
there
that shit
has
at
to
home.
be a better way.
But wait, I found it. So if you ever, all you root beer fans out there, give it a shot. If you try it, leave it in the comments. Let us know about it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, do you want to rate root beer, or do you got more root beer talk?
No, I'll rate it. I'll rate it.
Also, that sound that's going on TikTok has been my favorite.
Root beer, no!
Root beer, no! Root beer! Root beer!
Now, I'll give you my rating on root beer.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
7 out of 10.
Hey, okay. I'll take it.
Upper half.
More than it. Upper half, that's true. It's more than you gave MMA, so I appreciate that.
Yep.
So, with my, I don't know, root beer right now it's up there for me, but to be fair, I don't know. I'm honestly going to go 8 out of 10.
Not bad. 15 out of 20.
Is it the best drink? It's definitely up there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't talk about ginger ale or anything. That's another controversial drink people don't like.
Oh, yeah.
Old people drink supposedly, but fuck it. I love ginger ale too. I'll put my stamp on that. Ginger ale is delicious.
You know what? Fuck ginger ale.
Hey, fuck you.
We'll have to talk about that in the future.
That bitch about it, why don't you?
That's how our friendship ends.
Over ginger ale.
Our opinions on ginger ale.
The podcast is canceled. Here's why. Just post a picture of ginger ale.
All right, well, that's another episode of The Dudes Review. Remember, give us a rating, subscribe, whatever you can do. Share this on social media. Let's get the word out.
Share it, post it, talk about it, review about it.
It's a lot of fun to do. Hopefully it's a lot of fun to listen to. I've heard a lot of good feedback on it.
A lot of fun for me, a lot of fun for you.
Yeah. Hey, as long as you don't have anything else to say, I've been Drake.
And I've been Tyler.
All right, we'll see you next time on The Dudes Review.
Goodbye.